Right, we'll welcome the Etowah Blue Devils to the podium today, and Coach Scott Peavey, veteran coach, been around a long time, but first year for the Etowah Blue Devils. Coach, if you'd introduce the players or let them introduce themselves and some opening comments from you about this year's Blue Devil team.
Okay, to our far right, we have Jalen Greer, who's offensive tackle, returning starter up front for us. Here, number 2 is Jameson Sissom, quarterback, punter. He'll play some free safety as well. Here's Bennett Reeves. He plays tight end for us. Also plays some defensive end. And then at the end is Connor Dingler. He'll play safety, long snapper, returning starter as well. It's been a great transition. I'm excited to be at Etowah. I think our school, I'm working for a fantastic school system that has worked really hard for us to hire new staff and get a whole group of new guys in. And the kids have been fantastic. We got a great group of guys that have worked tremendously hard. And, our seniors have done a great job of leadership throughout the summer. So just excited to be there and excited to be in a school system where football is really important.
Coach, could you talk about the numbers in your program total, the number of seniors on this year's team, and the experience as far as starters, maybe in different places for you, but kids that have started for the Blue Devils before?
Well, we have 51 kids that have finished the summer with us at this point right now. 16 of those guys are seniors. Got a tremendous amount of returning experience. A lot of guys in different positions. We have some guys in different positions that, Connor's probably an example. He's used to being in the secondary, and we played him at outside linebacker a lot this summer, just trying to find out what kind of fit that they would be for us in our system. And so some guys have and Jameson's the same way. He's been the quarterback and hasn't played any defense, but he's played free safety for us all summer long as well. And we're just trying to see where some guys fit and gain some experience at different positions to see where we feel like they can help us the most. And I feel like coach, the last coaching staff had a great plan. They did a good job with playing guys one way, and that was it. But I'm gonna try to get some guys on the field, and let them play a little bit more, play both sides, and see if that'll help us. And so far, it's the kids have done great at it. So we're gonna do some of that.
Coach, I asked you this the other day, but talk about how it speaks to the history and tradition of Etowah football. Even in a quote-unquote down year with 3-8, you made the state playoffs for the 11th or 12th straight year.
Yeah, that's a testament to these kids. They're resilient. They continue to work. We're just sitting back there at that table, and there was a couple games that came down to the wire. They had an opportunity, to have a winning season in just a few plays here and there. So. Etowah has a great tradition. I've been around this area for a long time. I was, the head coach at Welborn at one time, and when I was at Madison County, I used to play Etowah. And actually, when I was in Georgia, I actually hired Raymond Farmer, who worked on my staff at one time. So, I know the tradition of Etowah football. It's fantastic football, and the crowd support is fantastic. And it's just different. It just means a lot more than other places I've been. And our kids really like it. Our community likes it. So, and our school system likes it. So they do everything they can to support our kids. And so our guys are really fortunate in that aspect.
Coach, you just mentioned Etowah and the community there. What was it about the job that enticed you so much? I know it's tradition rich and things like that, and you got a great group of kids around you, but I noticed you mentioned Coach Farmer as well. And I've sat in your office with Coach Farmer, so I know you guys' relationship had to be key in that.
It absolutely was. As a matter of fact, I had heard that the job may come open, and I called Coach Farmer and I said, "Hey, if that thing opens, I need your help." And I know, I've never played Etowah where they weren't tough, hard-nosed, physical guys, and there's always tremendous talent. So you can go back the last 7-8 years. I'm not so sure anybody around here signed more players than Etowah has. It's a fantastic history-rich program, and I'll tell you a funny story is when I was at Madison County, actually Jordan Chun was my running back. He's actually my offensive coordinator now, and I think it was him. I can't quite remember. I think it was him, and he had a really good night and had a lot of yards. And At one time, he's going down the Etowah sideline, and he gets knocked out of bounds and slides through the cheerleaders. And while he was on the ground, some of the cheerleaders were stomping on him. And so I remember when the job came open, my son looked at me and said, "That's the place where the cheerleaders will stomp you. I'm all in." So, you know, and I guess at that point, not only did it mean something to the crowd and everybody else, it meant something to the cheerleaders too. So that was that stuck in my mind for sure.
The next question's for Bennett and Jamison. You two guys are best friends. You played the same position. You guys played the same position in baseball as well. Each one of you guys speak on the other about what is good about him on and off the field, whether it be baseball, but also just being a friend to each other.
There you go. Jameson is probably the biggest character I've ever met. He can probably testify to I'm extremely tough on myself, and any bad day that I'm having, you can kind of just look over to him, and he's like, it's going to get better. And, you know, on the field, I really don't think anybody in Etowah County is as athletic as he is. He can truly do anything. But yeah, he's just a great friend. You know, nothing ever rattles him. He's the same dude all the time. And, you know, he helps us win games. So that's him.
With Bennett, it's just like, I'm more just the athletic build, and Bennett's kind of the brains to it. And so anytime I need a different perspective, I always have Bennett there to help me. And, I mean, it's just fun playing with my best friend. I got him over to Etowah finally after years. And, like, I just feel like we became closer even after he came to Etowah. And I'm just so thankful that he's came.
Coach, I've seen you offensively and defensively for years, and you've always done a good job of playing to the ability of your players. And I guess I'm not going to ask you to tell me exactly what you're going to do, but are we going to see maybe a lot offensively the way you were in Haralson County over here?
No. No.
I've seen you in 7-on-7, so I would say probably not.
Because I think Jameson will break out in a rash. No, we have a lot of guys that can run. We have some tremendous team speed. And, you know, when I got the job and I walked into the gym, Coach Farmer walked in there with me and he said, "Boy, let me tell you something. You've never been in the presence of so much speed as right now." And he's right. You know, we have some guys that can run. I don't know if we have any true just flat burners, but we have a lot of guys that can run. And so, you know, we're kind of built a little different. You know, we're probably short some linemen. We have enough linemen, but we don't have enough to run the Eagle, you know, that we ran in Haralson County. And, you know, which, you know, it's a great offense. It's a great plan. And our kids were a great fit at Haralson County for that offense. Here, we're a different fit. You know, we're different. Like I said, we got some really good team speed and athleticism, so we're going to be pretty multiple in what we do, but we're going to hang our hat on a few things that I feel like can give us a chance to be successful for sure.
One other question is, I knew just about everybody on your staff over at Haralson County. Give us an idea, since you're new here, about your coaching staff this year.
Well, first I want to, you know, say that our system's been awesome. They've done everything they can to try to hire some staff that, you know, and the good thing is, when you're in it long enough, you hire some guys that played for you, and I'm super fortunate there. So Jordan Chun, who played for me, he was the 4A back of the year when I was at Madison County. He played for the Dallas Cowboys, you know, broke every record at Troy. He is our offensive coordinator, and we're very fortunate to have him. And then David Rose is our offensive line coach. He's an Etowah guy. His brother's Larry Rose, an Etowah guy that, you know, he is just – right when I got the job, he's the first guy that walked in and said, "Coach, I want to be here." And so very lucky to have him as well. Our outside receiver coach is Anton Bowen, who played for me at Welborn. And, you know, I'm lucky to have him too. It's cool to be able to hire some guys that played for you. And then Darryl Roach is our quarterback coach. And, you know, Coach Roach, he was the offensive coordinator 2 years ago at Etowah. He's a fantastic football coach. We're very, very lucky to have him. The way that we got him was just fate. You know, we had an opening, and he happened to have the right certification. So we're very fortunate to have him as well. Zach Hightower's coming from, he was in the Huntsville area for a long time, head wrestling coach in the Huntsville area for a long time, and I just had a previous relationship with him. He's going to coach the defensive line. Inside linebacker coach is Sam Cosby. He's a Cedar Bluff guy that just graduated from Jacksonville State, first-year coach. From there, outside linebacker coach is my son, Jack Peavey. He's also the defensive coordinator. Again, another guy that played for me as well. And then the secondary coach is I'm going to coach the secondary. So yeah, we've got a really good staff, and a lot of experience and a lot of guys with a great track record. So excited about them.
I want to ask the guys, he just mentioned the staff, new coaches. Have they brought in new energy? What is the difference between this staff and maybe the ones that you've had in the past there at Etowah?
I agree. I mean, it just helps, especially in the weight room. We've all gotten stronger. I mean, it helps when you got coaches that are trying to outdo you in the weight room. I mean, this guy beside me, he's trying to push 250 benching, and he's like, can you do it? And I'm like, no, I can't do it. But it just helps. They just bring a different kind of energy that we've had from the previous years, and I feel like that's going to be the key to our success this year.
The coaching staff we had last year and the year before, they were great. But the coaching staff this year is completely different. They push you to your limit, and it's just you can't find a coaching staff quite like the guys we have right now. Like they're there for you no matter what. If you need anything, you can call them. But at the same time, like when you're on the field, they expect the best, and if you don't give it, then they'll find somebody else for the spot. So you can't really find a better group of guys to coach you, and I'm just glad to have them here.
Last year with the coaching staff, it's kind of hard to really, they take a lot of blame. They truly were dealt a bad hand last year, but they still came to work like anybody else. But this coaching staff is extremely tough. It's hard nosed. It's you're going to get 1 to 10% better every single day. I think Coach Peavey can back up that. I had to get a little bit tougher the last 7-on-7.
Done it.
We had a little incident, but yeah, you're definitely going to learn to be gritty. You're definitely going to learn to play hard football, and especially in the weight room. I think everybody knows that that's the key to winning a lot of football games. The key to staying healthy, and that's the biggest difference is the progress that he's seen and we've seen since he's been here is just incredible.
For me, the biggest difference I've seen from last year, the guys from last year, they were great, but I feel like the coaches this year, they just bring a whole new energy. They push you to be better every single day. They push you more than you think you can get out of yourself. And bigger than that, they're a support system. You need something, you need somebody to talk to. These guys are always there for you, but also when you're on the field, they're going to push you to be the best you can be. And I just feel like that's something we really needed as a team and for me as an individual.
All right, guys, I've asked all the other teams that's come through. Individual goals, team goals. I don't know if all of you guys are seniors, but the ones that are seniors going into your senior year, team goals, and I know you've talked about it with the coaches, and individual goals for you this year.
Well, my individual goal will be to leave the program better than when I came into it. I was blessed to play my sophomore year under Trace Thompson. I'm very thankful for that. He taught me a lot, but my goal is to really just leave the program better than I found it. And for a team goal, it's obviously to win the state championship, but just to not try to get there too fast, to soak up my senior year and go out with a bang.
Playing a little bit my freshman year, a little in and out, and then being thrown into the long snapping spot my freshman year, it was hard, but being put in my spot sophomore year, being thrown into my starting spot in sophomore year, it just made me tougher, and that's really just what I want to do with all the people below me. Football is a hard, tough game, and if you don't have thick skin, you can't really play it. So I really just want to lead those guys into, that tough guy mentality and make them have some more thick skin so that way they can handle anything thrown their way. And, I mean, for me, it's just to make sure those guys below me are on a good path to take this program even farther.
For me, I played a little bit my sophomore year towards the end of the season due to injuries and stuff, but really I started my junior year at right guard. And, I think for me, team goals, obviously 10-0 state champions, but feel more individuals, just like Jameson said, leave the program better than when I came, but also suck up my senior year, best of my ability, and just sum it up, leave the program best I can leave it. So.
I think team-wise is just going to be, taking it day by day, not getting too far ahead of ourselves. You still got to win week 1, week 2. You want to go each week. Like you said, you got to go 1-0 every week. So, just gradually progressing throughout the season to be the best version of ourselves. Times like when playoff comes, and then individually, learning to become a better leader. I thought we lacked a lot of leadership last year, and Coach Peavey, he only gets 1 year with the senior group, so I think we're going to try our best to give him a little push start with the next group, and just try to leave it better than what he came into it, and yeah.
I'll ask one final question. We'll wrap it up with this. Coach talked about Etowah being a traditional program, the great support of the community. What does it mean to you guys to represent your school, your community, this football team at Media Day today?
I mean, it's just great. I mean, our fans and community is just so welcoming and helpful. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, good or bad game, I'd get multiple texts at night asking me how I feel and that it'd get better. I mean, it just helps when you have a program like that because you just know that you have someone that will have your back. And knowing that, I mean, you can just go and fight for them all the time. And Coach Peavey, he's been great.
It's an honor to come today. I thank Coach Peavey for bringing me. I think it's very rare that you have a football team go 3-9, 3-8, and you still have tons of fans, and you're still packing out the crowd. I think it's just a testament to what Etowah is, what the program has built, and yeah.
Like Bennett said, we went 3-8 last year, and our first playoff game was at West Morgan, and that's a long drive, and the stands that we had for that game, the stands were still packed out. So that just shows you the belief and the love and the way that this community really is just like a family. So there's not many places you can go that your football team has a losing record and probably every ticket in the ticket booth is still sold out. So I think that just shows you the love and the care the community has for this team, and I mean the care and everything we have for the community as well.
Like Jameson and all these other guys said, it's insane the amount of support that the community shows week in, week out. Home stadium, away stadium, our side's almost full every week, win or loss. We didn't win a single home game last year, and every game it's just packed house on our side. So I think it's really big to have a support system like that backing you because it really gives you motivation to go out there and perform and, send the crowd home happy or just different stuff like that.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Good luck to the Blue Devils this year.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your covering our team. Thank you.